Woo! Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. There's going to be a clip of this going live or just a clip thereof. So, how are y'all doing out there today? I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson. Hopefully, you all are doing great and having a great day and a great month so far. If not, I am sorry to hear that because that does suck whenever you don't have a great month. All right. Lots of stuff to cover today, or hopefully. I don't know. Some days we just make up with the topics that we're doing. Some days we just don't know what we're talking about. All right. Today we're going to be talking about haunted items. Haunted items. So I'm seeing more and more people having issues around their home because they bring in haunted items from, you know, the last house they lived in or whatever. And now they're having new issues at their new place. And they're wondering why. Huh. You bring a haunted item from one spot to another, and the sounds are coming from where you store the haunted items. Yeah, you get the point. I do have haunted items, haunted objects in my home because I live in a haunted house. So, that amps things up a little bit as it is. But right up here, I don't know if you can see her or not, but she's right there. That's Maribel. And then right up here, you see his feet right by my creepy doll that I'm working on right there. But right there, you see his feet, Diego, right behind the Aussie painting. For you guys, she is right there. And then Diego's feet are right there. So I got two different cameras going on. So I have a haunted items in my house because, again, I live in a haunted house. And I've got the evidence to prove it, from the orbs to things falling off walls that shouldn't, from things falling off solid shelves that shouldn't, from the EVPs that I capture on a regular basis. I'm hoping we got some good stuff last night because Maribel, right up there, boom, right behind where my thumb is, she was pretty active last night. Oh, looky there. Good morning, Mr. Roy. Joe Bradley Jr., welcome to the show. So I set up the camera and then I pulled up my um, static camera that I've got sitting in the office that just records 24/7 from both ends of the field. I got one over there, and then I've got one that sits right up there. And so my entire office is covered by a camera because this is where I get most of the EVPs. We've gotten a lot of orbs in here, all kinds of good stuff. And now that we've added Maribel, again, she's sitting right there. You can see her pink hat, her brown hair, black hair, whichever one it is right there. And I just had a book fall on me, which shouldn't have fallen because it's actually sitting in a backwards angle. So it definitely should not have fallen. So there you go. Stuff's happening this morning already. All right. So anyway, yesterday she was pretty active. She kept going off a few times during the day, and I proved as I started the recording, I jump up and down on the floor. I even open up the refrigerator that she's sitting on top of, and nothing sets up that cat ball off. Stirred up a little dust, too. So, if you don't know what a cat ball is, if you've seen any paranormal investigation before in your life, this is a cat ball right here. Okay? You've got a little button on top. You set it off right there. Thank you. And then you set it wherever you want to. So it's in view, of your cameras. Well, when it goes off, and I'll show you here in just 1 second. Thanks for the likes, the shares, and the follows. That helps. Okay, it's off. Now, I am literally jumping on my floor. It didn't set her off. It didn't set the cat ball off. Now, if I physically hit the desk, you see it didn't move it. I have to physically touch this item for it to go off. Okay? Right there. And so, you just saw I hit the desk. I bounced up and down on the floor. I did everything I could to set this ball off before touching it. Nothing happened until I touched it. The same thing has been happening up here with her. Nothing on the Dybbuk box. Yes, I have a Dybbuk box in the house. I have the whole lore to both of the doll and to Maribel and the Dybbuk box. And nothing's been setting it off. Well, yesterday I'm sitting in here. I would just happen to turn and watch uh, one of my horror movies that I normally have going on. And I catch some light out of the side of out of my peripheral. So I turn, and her cat ball on top of her head is going off. I'm like, okay. And it happened a couple different times throughout the day. And yes, the refrigerator cycles. It's cycling right now. So that means it shuts itself off, which you hear by the click, and then it cycles itself back on whenever the temperature starts to drop down inside the refrigerator. So it's cycling right now, which means if it was working, if that slight hum of your refrigerator was going to set this cat ball off, it would be going off right now. Absolutely nothing. Again, I can open the refrigerator door, close the refrigerator door, nothing happens. You physically have to pick this thing up, touch it, all that good stuff. So I go ahead and set up our nice new little camera, turn the microphone on this time. Always a rookie mistake here of some sort. But we put this up, focused it on that direction, and turned the mic on this time, which is by pushing down on this, and you see the blue light comes on right there. Um, had that going all night long. Had this recorder again going all night long. Oh no, not this one. This one. This recorder going all night long. And so I'm waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm excited to hear what I captured and what I saw, because when I turned on my static camera that I can rotate 360 degrees pretty much and view my entire office at any point in time, within a couple of minutes, probably within 3 minutes of me leaving the room, being outside with the animals, I pull up my camera. Because, yes, I've got animals I still have to let out to use the bathroom and all that good stuff. So I let them out, pull up my camera, and then boom, I see the light going off on her head. So I hit the record button, and it goes off. About 2-3 minutes go by again, back on again. Hit the record button. And it's just like, okay, well, how many times are you going to do this tonight? So, don't know. I haven't watched the video yet. I've got to make sure that it did record all night long, because it looked like something was going on, because it didn't look like normal whenever I walked into it this morning to turn it off. And so I've got to check that. So, haunted items. Why would someone want a haunted item in their home? Any guesses? Any idea? Because we're nuts, we're crazy, we're psychotic. I don't know why other people want haunted items in their home, but I'm fascinated with the unknown, with that other side, if you will. Ever since I saw the demon as a child, I was probably about 9 years old, 9 or 10, somewhere in that range. And I've seen things ever since that point in time in my life. and it's just, interesting things, from shadow figures to full body apparitions to orbs to light anomalies to anomalies. If Casey was here, he could talk to you about. Well, Roy's here, and he can tell you about the mist that went between the microphone and the screen that I didn't see because I was doing something else or whatever. But two different people saw it as a mist went across the screen. Um, I went back to try and find it, but couldn't find it on the recording. So, but I get disembodied voices here at the house, to the point where I have to go outside and check to make sure the neighbors aren't out yelling in the backyard or something like that. Uh, make sure a TV isn't on somewhere, those type things. But the clearest EVP we got was last year, the end of last year. Set up that camera in the front room because we've been having a lot of noises and knocks and things like that happening. And set it up in the front room, shooting back towards the kitchen, and I leave it, and within 1 minute and 8 seconds of me leaving the camera and going back into the bedroom, watching Nuke's Top Five is what was on in the background because you could hear it kind of muted in the background because it's coming. The sound is coming from a TV around a door, or out the door and back into the front room, so you can still hear it, but it's just muffled. Well, something gets right up to the or right up to the microphone and says, "Hey, come back, come back," and that's on my channel here on TikTok. It's on my Facebook and all that good stuff as well. But I've shown paranormal investigators a lot of cool stuff, and from just what I've captured here at the house, from the orbs and different anomalies and things like that, and they're like, "That's pretty sweet," you know. But I keep bringing in more haunted items because it's fun for me. Anyway, they don't bother me, just like them knocking the book over here, which should not have fallen over because it is literally sitting like this against the wall. So there's no way it should topple forward, especially being a heavy 3-ring binder that it is. This is the one we talked about with all of the cards from the Wizard magazine and all that stuff in it the other day. And it sits literally like this against the wall. There's no way it should topple forward, period. So, and that's what just happened just a little bit ago. And yeah, it's sitting up against some framed pictures down there that aren't on the wall yet, but it's still leaned at this angle. There's no way it should topple the other direction. So you guys can keep your eye right up here and right up here. You guys are right up here and right up here. I've got two different cameras. I need to put you guys at the same level so that we're pointing at the same thing at the same time and all that good stuff, but I don't. I haven't done that yet. I haven't got that balance in there yet. And maybe one of these days I'll get to it. And so if you see those go off, let me know because I might see them myself, um, just like I have in the past. Now, I know I should bring her down here, put her on a stand, and just, while we're doing the show, just let it do its thing. But we're doing the same exact thing as she's leaned up against the bookshelf up there. And so I've got 3 haunted items in the house. I've got Maribel, which you're seeing right there. I got Diego, which is right. He was the first one in the house. And then right next to her is what's called a Dybbuk box. If you don't know what a Dybbuk box is, they say that's where they house spirits and demons and all that good stuff inside of a box that they've sealed completely with wax after giving it a blessing and all that good stuff. And most people just think those are hoaxes and stuff like that. But you do get the people that talk about the Dybbuk boxes that they've opened and things started happening. They ended up getting sick. They ended up um, having odd things happening around their house. all that good stuff. And so I did see a creator on here just yesterday as I was flipping through. She was on live, but she was also, this was a recorded piece that she had done. And she was talking about, strange sounds happening from a specific section towards the garage of their house. And she was thinking someone was trying to break in her house and all this good stuff. And then she tells the story about, you know, that direction towards our garage is where the haunted items from our other house, since we just moved, are stored. And it happens every night around the same time, 12:30, from the same room, same direction. Need we say more? You've got haunted items in a section of the house. Sounds happen about 12:30 every night, which is not the witching hour by any stretch of the imagination. And now her husband is walking the house with his water gun in hand, and he comes back and she asks, "Did you find anything?" He was like, "No, didn't find anything, didn't see anything, didn't hear anything." And now she's like, "Well, I think I'm going to start putting cameras up." You should have done that a long time ago. When you wake up early in the morning, did not go back to sleep in the morning. Breeze has secrets to tell. Okay, all right. I'm not sure what all that means, but all right. I mean, there's lots of secrets to tell out there, I'm sure. And that's why your haunted objects want their story told. And that's why I have recording devices all over my house, pretty much. I've got 4 in this room alone. There's one I still need to find and stick in there in my ghost hunting kit. Um, but yes, her haunted items are contributing to the sounds she's hearing. And, and she's still trying to figure out what's making the sounds. It's like, well, you uprooted where they were to put them in a new place, and now you've got them confined to probably a box still, if I had to guess. She didn't tell us how the stuff was stored, but it's just like you can't put 2 and 2 together of your own house because, like I said, I get poltergeist activity here at my house on a regular basis, and I'm cool with it. Like I said, I'm used to it. It started day one whenever I was here by myself, dead asleep, 3 o'clock in the morning, around that witching hour, and sound like someone was trying to kick in my front door. I did the same thing her husband did. I was flipping on lights, had my water gun in hand, walking the inside of the house, walking the outside of the house, looking up and down the street, looking through the backyard to where the trees and stuff were, um, and absolutely nothing. Very next night, the door right outside my window of the office right here, which is the door we use on a regular basis to come in and out of the house, sounded like somebody was trying to knock it down. Again, flipping on lights, walking the house, outside the house, up and down the street. Absolutely nothing. Nobody. And then came to the realization, oh, this is poltergeist activity. Something's trying to get my attention. And even heard something at one point in time at night that was scratching in the walls. And so I go and bang on the wall. I mean, thinking it's a raccoon or whatever. And I go back and lay in bed. Well, I hear heavy breathing on the ceiling, following from the point I banged on the wall to an air vent on the ceiling, and it's just sitting there, and you're hearing, and I'm like, all right. And I'm laying there just watching, seeing if anything's going to pop through the ceiling or anything like that. Nothing happened, and then pretty soon it dissipates. And so, not a raccoon because a raccoon doesn't make those sounds. Now they can. They can get loud, but definitely wasn't a raccoon. So that one I'm still perplexed by, if you will. But like I said, here I've had poltergeist activity besides the banging of the doors. I've had stuff thrown off of bookshelves. We've had things literally lifted up. Say you got two action figures that have these little lips on them. Well, they're sitting back to back like this, on the shelf or on the dresser. And then if I had, where's the third one? Oh, right here. Another action figure sitting on top of them like this. Okay, so whenever you got figures stacked together and you've got your little hanger tags right here, and then these are together like this, if something were to fall, it's going to fall this way, just like that. We've had items do this number and sit in between the other ones, where it was literally flipped upside down, sat inside, to where the hanger tag was pressed in between the two action figures, front and back. And that's been my girlfriend's stuff that has happened to hers on the dresser in the bedroom. We've had stones thrown off of a coffee table that was holding a fan at the time. And if it vibrates off, if something were to vibrate off a table, it would land directly close to where it fell from the table. No, this was thrown across the room. From point A to door is where it went. It went whoop, and it wasn't just a whoop. It went whoop, and so we get all that kinds of stuff on a regular basis. Um, like I said, lots of knocks, lots of sounds, definitely a lot of orbs. Any of the videos that I can pull up, I usually have at least 30 to 40 orbs going through them at any point in time. And it's just like, well, there's tons of activity happening here on a regular basis. Again, shadow people, full body apparitions, which I've seen outside. I haven't seen full body apparitions inside, but I have seen creeping uh, shadow figures, if you will, where it looks like they're crawling up a wall on a door frame or something like that. And you get all kinds of cool stuff that you see, you hear. Again, the disembodied voices are the best. Had that happen several different times. Had one that sounded like a little child right outside my office door one day. I was cleaning a back bedroom where my mother was going to be staying for a week, and we were cleaning it up, straightening it up, and the next thing I hear is "not yours," and I'm like, that's when I literally had to go outside to make sure that the neighbors weren't fighting, which they don't, but at least not where we can hear anyway. And nobody was outside, TVs weren't on, and I'm like, oh, okay. You're telling me that this room isn't mine, but it is because I bought the house. So I don't know what you're going to do about it, but I'm still fixing the room up. I mean, it is interesting whenever you get those voices and things like that. And if you guys hear anything that I don't hear, because I can't hear what you guys are hearing, I'm only hoping because my microphone is on that you guys are hearing my voice. Now, you guys might actually hear something that I don't hear, and I would have to go back on the recording and listen to it because since this is a electronic device, it can pick up otherworldly things, you know. So, I know Roy's got haunted experience out there. If Casey was here, he's got haunted experiences out there. Um, and several people that I've talked to that have come on the show, or at least chatted in the chat box, um, they've had some very good stories to tell about their experiences with the paranormal. What do you have? Those that are watching right now, what are your paranormal stories out there? This is the early morning after the witching hour time. Um, and mine doesn't stop. Mine doesn't just happen during the witching hour. Mine doesn't just happen at certain points in time of the day. There is something that happens here all the time on a regular basis. Um, like I said, with her cat ball going off right there on Maribel, right there, you can see her really good right here on this camera. But this one, you can only see her head from about the shoulder up bust shot. And excuse me. And since she's been in the house, she's set off that cat ball. The cat ball's been on her nonstop for 4 days now, and I can count on one hand about how many times she goes off in a day. You know, anywhere between 2 to 5 throughout the day, and it's not all the time. It's just at random points in time of the day. So we get activity throughout the day here. Like I said, I can capture an orb at any point. I can pull up another camera. I can't right now because I'm using the phone. But I can pull up another camera, especially in my library, and see orbs flying through left and right. That seems to be a hub for paranormal activity here at the house. And I don't know why. I mean, I know it's an add-on portion of the house, but oh no, that's an original part of the house. The library, the hallway going to the bathroom, the kitchen, and the front room are the original parts of the house. This office is an add-on with the hallway. Um, the back bedroom is an add-on. So I guess those are the two add-ons in the house from when it was originally built in the 60s. And the lore goes someone committed schmooicide here in this office um, whenever it was a bedroom. And, that's why we're assuming, and you know what that means, why there's so much activity in this room. And, I don't mind. Like I said, I'll talk to them, I'll converse with them. Um, we haven't used the dowsing rods in a while. The girlfriend has better luck with hers than I do with mine. So, um, and I've got two different sets. That's the sad part. Um, switching gears just a little bit. This isn't a haunted item, but he's all inked up and ready for color. Bum bum bum. Mia's Wolverine, right there. Bum bum bum. But yes, that's yours truly as Wolverine. Before I get into my whole Forge one, which I don't know where that picture is right at this particular memento. But then I started doing some solid pencils, more heavy on the pencil side in here with the Batman Who Laughs. You can see there's going to be some changes happening. I took out some big chains that were hanging behind him, and I'm going to do some different things back in there. But there you go. And then we'll get into the heavier stuff on the Harley Who Laughs next as well. Just to get to define the lines and things like that. So whenever I start inking, it's much easier on me to know where my lines are. I mean, I'll make some stuff up too as I go, but you know. And so, how are you all doing out there? Seriously, how are you guys doing? You guys doing all right? You sleepy? You tired? You getting ready to go to work? And I know, Roy, you're not going to work. You're pulling out your Miracle Whip for another day's lather. I get it. Um, and just want to make sure you guys are good. You guys are, you know, doing well out there because I know not everybody does well. And people live through, you know, aches and pains and other things. And it's just like me. I still find a new pain because I've been working out for 8 weeks straight now. And, every morning you wake up with something new hurting. uh, we want to make ourselves better. Fighting sleep to stay till the end, buddy. Fighting sleep to stay till the end. Well, make yourself some coffee. Just make sure you didn't wash your panties in it first, just like that one woman did, and now people are starting to sue um, the hotel. It's just like the hotel didn't do it; this individual did it. Put her panties in the coffee pot and brewed it to wash them. The things people will do. The things people will do. But you hear a lot of weird stories out of hotels anyway. And then she just flat out admitted it. This is what you do. No, you take your shit to the laundry facility, wash it, and dry it there, and take it back to your room. You know darn well no coffee here, never ever. But oh please, you drank coffee once in a time in your life. You can never say you've never touched a drop of coffee in your entire life. Because I've touched coffee before, and it was cappuccino or something else, but it was never coffee. Um, so there you go. And I know you've drank coffee before in some form, fashion, or another. Because most people have. Now, there are some people that have never touched a drop of coffee in their entire life, in their existence. And that's cool. More power to you. You know, I've had to do things to keep myself awake, and, a cappuccino, like an espresso, has a lot of caffeine in it. But, yeah, Afghanistan, it was monsters. Bless you. I coughed. I didn't sneeze. You gotta keep up. You gotta keep up. You gotta make sure which one's which, everybody. But thanks. Um, and yeah, Afghanistan, it was monsters. The BFC, what's called the big fucking can. What was it? The 32-ounce monster. Because we had 16-hour missions that we would go on. You know, and so that's what kept us awake, kept us alive and fuel, body fuel. You're fighting sleep. Well, get up and do some jumping jacks. Do some push-ups to get the blood flowing. Do some diamond push-ups, and then some mid, and then some wides. You can still do some push-ups. Get down there. Give me 20. But yeah, if you want to go, go. Take off. Have a good time. We're only 30 minutes into the show. We still got another 30 minutes to go. I don't know if you're going to last that long. That's what happens staying up all night again, watching certain shows with Miracle Whip in hand. I get it. And the rest of the world gets it too. So we appreciate the likes, the shares, and the follows. We're up to 4.4, which puts us in the popular live category for our group, our region of what is it called, the fandom side of things. Because here we talk about horror movies, we talk about sci-fi movies, we talk about comic books, comic book artwork, comic book movies. We talk about my artwork, my comic book artwork, my paintings, which you see directly behind us, because I did change out the paintings. And in a couple more lives, I'll change out the paintings again. Might bring my Naughty Nun series in here and hang up there for everybody's viewing pleasure. What's your pleasure, sir? From Hellraiser. Um, but I've got tons of paintings to cycle through, and we had up the Chester and the other Aussie painting back there, which is already into shirts. The only one that's not into a shirt yet is right there. That Aussie is not a shirt yet. I was counting it up, and I think I've got like 20 some odd shirts now. Starting with the number one bestseller is what I'm wearing right now. And we'll just cycle through. So you got that one. You got that one. This was actually the very first painting that I did right here. And, it sold, the painting sold, but the shirts haven't sold as much as this one has. Then you got the TMNT, Last Ronin. And then the Chester that we were just talking about that these guys can see up here, but you guys can't because it's on the floor back there, which was hanging up over here. And then you got Ivan Moody, a Five Finger Death Punch. This was actually a painting I did for her mother, my girlfriend's mother. And she still has it on her wall today. And then my American Horror, which is a good seller, of Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. And then you got Howard the Duck, the original Howard the Duck, not the CGI shit that they're using and AI shit that they're using on the MCU now. Dexter. Oh, shit, we're slipping way ahead. Terrifier, Art the Clown. The Crow. The best of the series. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. One of my naughty nuns, the Bad Habit series right here. The Creep from Jeepers Creepers. Inosuke from Demon Slayer. Mitsuri from Demon Slayer. Bishop of the X-Men. Gambit of the X-Men. Doctor Doom, not of the X-Men. Alice in Wonderland with the Mad Hatter in tow. Raven from Teen Titans. This is my number one seller for when I was going to comic book conventions and stuff like that. A lot of people loved the Raven, this particular one. Now the other one was bought too, but this one was the fan favorite by far. Some Boba Fett for you, some Boba Fett, watercolor style. Some Darth Vader watercolor style. Some Darth Vader not so watercolor style. Who's next? Who's up next? Who do we have next? Gunslinger Spawn. This was on a blank comic book cover that I drew up right there. I need to do some more Spawn. Some Jessica Rabbit with Roger giving her heart eyes back there. What the fuck? Now I've got a live visibility restriction. Hold on. Your live is not eligible for recommendation as it is restricted to search results because it redirects you. I'm not telling anybody to go anywhere, you stupid fucks. Did I tell you guys to go anywhere to get these? No, I did not. Pinhead of Hellraiser. Jeffrey Dahmer. And back to the beginning. So, TikTok is a bunch of whiny bitches that uses AI because I did not tell anybody to go anywhere to get anything. I said, this is what I had available. I did not tell you to go anywhere to go get anything. So, your stupid fucking AI TikTok, you need to watch the fucking show, number one. And if I do tell people to go somewhere to get something, then yes, you'll know. But this show, I did not say shit. TikTok is becoming a joke of an app all the way around. And it's getting worse. It was supposed to be getting better since it moved to the United States, or the main portion that we're watching, but it is not getting any better. Just because AI is in too much control. And yes, there have been other days that I've, said, hey, do this, do that, do that. Today was not the day. I was just showing what I have available. I never said go anywhere to do anything, TikTok. So you need to get your shit together, number one. Stop using AI, put a real person on everybody's live shows, and see who's violating your policies on a regular basis. Because I am not the guy, you know? I'm not up here showing my butthole to the world and you guys allowing it. I'm talking about real life stuff, you know? I talk about, you know, prevention hotlines, appeal, not approved. Yeah, because you're a bunch of whiny bitches, all right? And I can't even say, let's just throw it out there, suicide hotline right here. Now I'm going to get another restriction because I said the word suicide in here. And call 988 or 1-800-273-8255 if you have issues like that want to cause you not to be here anymore. And so I talk about that on a regular basis as well. And it's stupid that we have to change words on this platform so that we don't get restrictions or even violations, if you will. TikTok needs to be a grown up app because you can say fuck, you can say damn, you can say all kinds of shit on this app, but you say certain keywords and you get restrictions. You say certain things, you get restrictions. It's actually quite infuriating, to be honest. And just because I don't sell shit on your TikTok shop where you get money out of people, and yes, I will fucking redirect you right now. Go to my website, hit me up in an email, and buy my merchandise. All right. TikTok does not get a penny of it. All right. So they can kiss my ass on that note. And yes, I'm a little fired up right now because TikTok is an asshat. Um, and I don't mind saying it. A lot of people will tiptoe around it, all that stuff, while they're doing their live shows and whatnot, all. But yet they can still have their boobs hanging out, no bra. You know, well, this is why you're here to watch my boobs bounce as I talk to you guys. No, that's not why you're here. You're here to talk about horror movies, sci-fi movies, comic books, comic book artwork, my artwork that you can buy outside the TikTok shop at any point in time because I'm not Vivor, okay? Sometimes you just want to take TikTok, plug it up to an outlet, and just fry it. Hi, how are you all doing? Let me break into Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Because I guess that's where everybody's show needs to be, is a semblance of Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And be all nice and gentle and not talk about certain topics. Oh, no, we can. You're wanting to go cold turkey anyway, right? So we can fry TikTok and just be done with it. And then there, boom, that's one social media less that you have to watch. Get away from all this AI bullshit anyway that everybody loves. I can't stand and never will. Like I said, it's got its purposes for finding cancers and things of that nature, and that's where it should have stayed. But now, with all this shit that people are doing with it, writing their books, making their music, doing artwork with it, with no heart, soul, whatever, it's quite ridiculous. You know, everything that people are coming up to use it with, and that's just killing the artist industry. Meaning, true musicians, true writers, true artists, and people just don't see it because they're wanting to. Oh, well, I can make this in 5 minutes or 32 seconds or whatever. It's just like, okay, I saw one that people are flocking to left and right. It's some chick with big boobs out there, and you clearly can tell it's AI because she reaches down to grab a phone from her pocket over the dress that she's this super tight dress that she's wearing, and the phone comes through the material. It's just like, how are you guys believing that this is a real person? There's even, like I said, that AI artist musician out there that doesn't know that she's AI. She doesn't believe she's AI. And that's where the scary lines are starting to come into play. When AI doesn't know that it's AI, they think they're a real person. And we should have listened to James Cameron a long time ago. Skynet. And it's not going away. It's only going to get worse. More people are going to use it, Roy, um, to you know propagate their agenda out there with their AI avatars and AI this and AI sharing of this and that and the other, and even my girlfriend listens to some AI music out there. And there was one decent one. I'm not gonna say it was great. I already did. And then she started playing some other selections from this AI catalog of music of some very popular songs of back in the day, and it was horrible. It was painful to listen to, and it was just like, wow. And people flock to this shit left and right. I just don't understand. Give me some real musicians any day over an AI musician. Give me a real writer over someone that's using AI to write their books. And then you ask them what their book's about, and they're like, I don't know. You wrote the book, right? Well, no, I used an AI program to write my book. Oh, this is why you can't tell me what your book's about. Just as you added me in there, I was texting the same thoughts. Yeah, uh-huh. And it's just like the artist that big comic book conventions and some minor comic book conventions are kicking AI artists out of the shows because that's not true artwork. You're key prompting something into a program and having it spit out some piece of shit that has no heart and soul and looks atrocious most of the time. But yet you're like, oh, this is so cool. Look at what it can do. And it's just like, well, you just took the whole heart and soul out of things. Now, let's flip the script on that too. There are artists out there that their stuff can look like it's AI generated. Absolutely. Not mine. I'm not talking about my work. I'm talking about other people's work. And then you're getting other artists calling them out saying, "Come on, such and such, you know, this is completely AI generated, but you guys are still using it." No, this person actually worked on it. I've had to go check a person's website and I'm watching them create the piece, you know, and people are still calling them out saying that they're AI. Now, there are a few that will flat out admit that they're AI generated artwork, which is fine. I mean, if that's the way you want to be, go for it. If you want to be an AI generated artist, more power to you. I'm not here to stop you. But I'm here to do the true footwork. Something that takes me, sometimes a month to finish. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to finish. We went from a week and a half to 2 weeks to get to this point of the black inks on this page where I can go to color now, uh, and so on and so forth. And yes, I can take this directly into my computer, into Photoshop, and color it up. And Kelly Badass is live with us now. And she says, second book published. Yay, it happened. Awesome. You are there. This is the author of Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts, the poetry book that you can get on Amazon right now. And it really did. Yay. Awesome. I am happy for you. I am ecstatic for you. And she has 2 books under her belt right now. And the second book is called I'm so excited. Next one is Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts Upside Down World. There you go. So, Upside Down World with the same title as Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts. So, easy to find on Amazon. And so, there you go. So, I haven't checked my email, so I'm sorry. March 7th. Okay, it's out. You're doing a book signing then too, right? Or is that just when your book comes out? Because I'm doing that book signing on March the 8th, a day after your book comes out. And never done one? Well, you need to. Find you a bookstore, local bookstore, because there should be plenty in your area that will allow you to come in and do a book signing. And they could even buy up X amount of your books, you know. Like here, Books a Million, they have an autograph section uh, where authors, have autographed the books and they buy the books and put them in their store. Same way it could be done with yours. You could be put in the autograph section and get you a big banner made up of your 2 books together. Banners aren't expensive either. Now, get your boyfriend to chip in. Tell him to help live your dream as well. I don't even own one of my first books. See, that's what kills me. Keep one of your own books. Oh, it's in the back of the room. It's in the back of the room. But I would pull up my original artwork. Yeah, I know you gave them away. Stop that. Put one in a fucking safe where you keep your pew pews. Um, and an autographed copy, as a matter of fact. And that way, like me, whenever we pass away, our artwork, your works, will go up in value. Just like my artwork will go up in value. Because you'll never be able to get another Monty original again. And just like Picasso, like we talked about before, Picasso sold one painting in his lifetime and it wasn't for very much. And once he passed, his artwork are now worth millions upon millions of dollars. Not saying mine will ever be that price, but you know, um, it's possible. Anything's possible. Kelly, you're cool. You're absolutely cool. Well, I'm never gonna die either because my artwork is out there and it will always be viewed, no matter what. Because what did they say? The internet is forever, which is a bunch of bullshit because I can't find my old MySpace stuff. So you know, obviously, it's not forever. Yes, Kelly badass. She is a badass, and she is doing great things with her writings. And she's got 17 more books in the works. So I look forward to seeing those one every other week being dropped. Um, wouldn't that be cool? Dropping a book every other week, getting it on Amazon. on a regular uh, basis, you know. And no, you really can't say that things live on forever on the internet. Now, maybe here in this day and age, yes. Um, but when it comes to the older stuff that was on like AOL or Yahoo and things of that nature, you know, I will have seven or this year. So you're going to have seven drop this year. That's impressive. That is super impressive. And you all know where to get her stuff. Go to Amazon, pick it up, look up her name, which she's already given you in the chat, Kelly Jude Lee. And you can find her on Amazon. It's pretty easy. I found it super quick. And this is her first book right here, Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts. And this is her over here. It, up against the tree, watercolor style. And it's not really her, but, it could be. And now, definitely on the new book, it is her. And, but yes, you can go get her books on Amazon right now. We are going to be exchanging books. And uh, not much longer now, and I should be getting my comps of the new book, Condry, Man's Best Friend, which I did the entire book for, from front to cover, from front to back, um, all 9 pages worth. Technically 10 because I did two different covers. So, so maybe we'll get all those together, and once those come in, and March 8th, I should have some more books in hand, depending on how many comps he goes ahead and gives me at the show. Um, and we'll go from there. So I might have a whole plethora of books to send you. You know, one, two. I've got two now, plus two more. One novel form and one other comic book on the way. So there's four different books that you could end up in your hands, Kelly. So look forward to that. I really do. I do. Because I enjoy trading with other artists in the craft of it all, and it's more fun that way. Just like a lot of people are wanting to trade artwork on a artist page that I follow, and that's always a lucrative thing because I do that at comic book conventions on a regular basis. I hit up all the people around me and say, hey, do you do art trades and stuff like that? And if they say yeah, I said okay. At the end of the show, let's do it. And they're pretty happy. You know, they're unloading some of their stuff. I'm unloading some of my stuff, and it's going to a good home. You know, and so the trade industry needs to come back. The whole barter system, uh, like in Alaska. But so many people don't even know what that is. It's quite crazy. But yeah, it needs to come back. That totally needs to come back. Where a handshake was your word. You know, but now a handshake could be like, huh, well, hopefully you survive. You know, thanks for helping me out, but I'm not going to be there whenever you need some help. Those type things, and it's just like, all right, whatever. So, but it's all good. But Kelly, no, I am happy for you. I'm ecstatic for you that you've got your second book, Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts, from the Upside Down World. Is that what it's called? I could have just butchered the name on that. Or your voice is your word as well, bub. Yeah, just don't spit in your hand. And then here, come on, shake my hand. Because yours would have Miracle Whip all in it. Let's see here. Get back to that name. Yes, thoughts on thoughts on thoughts, upside down world. That's what we're looking for. Well, you guys have me restricted anyway, you bunch of dumb bugs. Sorry, before you got here, I got a restriction because I was showing my T-shirts, all the different ones that we have, and it decided in its wisdom that I was redirecting people to go purchase my stuff outside. And so I got a little heated there for a moment. Um, I'm better now. I had my water. TikTok infuriates me a lot of times, but that's okay. But no, I haven't checked my email, Kelly, to see if you sent me one back so that we can do the whole correspondence thing. And you know, there is the opportunity that we could be working together on a book. You know, um, but little things like that are starting to fall into my lap more and more. I've got another friend that I can't talk too much about it right now. Um, that wants to do a comic book with me, and so we'll see how that goes. We've got to get into the negotiations and things like that. Not really negotiations, just tell me what it's about, and we'll go from there. And now I do have another comic book that's out there as well, with another uh, film producer of mine, but I haven't talked too much about that one yet either because we haven't done a whole lot. We had a preliminary sit down quite a while back, but you know, uh, haven't done much with it, and that's on me because I haven't looked at the stuff that he's written. But it's a Western zombie horror comic book, and so looking forward to that one. But little things like that are starting to drop into my lap, which are very helpful. But I need the big one to land in my lap that a friend of mine and I have talked about before, and I need that one to land. I need that ship to land, and I need that to go. Because if that one were to happen, I could pay off quite a few things with what that would entail. And so, you know, that would be cool. That would be cool. But we are happy that Kelly has her book out, her next book, and you can go find both of them on Amazon right now. Roy, get over to Amazon, get her books. Kelly Jude Lee is her name over there. And just look for Thoughts on Thoughts on Thoughts, and you'll pull up both books. All right, folks, we are going to kill it for today. Since we are restricted, we're not going to get a whole lot more viewerships today. We are at 10,000 likes, which puts us in the popular live category, even though we do have a restriction on us right now because TikTok is a bunch of pussies. But we do love you all. And don't forget to tell people out there that you do love them because tomorrow is not promised. If you do have any issues and don't want to be here anymore, 988 or 1-800-273-8255 or hit me up in the DMs and I will listen to you because I've got my issues as well. You all have a great day. And as I like to say, as I leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.